Hello, everybody. Good afternoon. All right. Thank you so much for being here today. Hello, everyone. Just say
Hey,
hi.
Hello.
Yes,
hello.
Hello.
Hi.
hello. Thank you. Thank you. All right. So I'm also simultaneously doing a Facebook Live with our Facebook group, Wealthy Money Mindset, so that people that are unable to actually join Zoom, they will be able to. All right. So we'll see how that works. We're going to experiment on that. So again, thank you so much. Today is, I've decided to offer this free pandemic clearing to boost your immunity because I wanted to help a lot of the panic, a lot of the fear that's happening in the world. So I know that majority of you have worked with me in the past, and I'm so grateful you're here today. So you're in for a treat because today we're going to give you some practical tools. I'm going to share my insight on what this pandemic is and the triggers that cause certain weaknesses in people. That's why there's a lot of panic buying and there's a lot of emergencies and things happening. It triggered pretty much a lot of whatever is triggering the person already, right? Their deepest fears, if they have had some issues. And I'm going to be calling some people today, and I want you to pay attention to how your body is responding because we're here as a community and we are here to help each other. So my main goal today is to really help correct a lot of the weaknesses through the work that I do. And we're going to be using a lot of Chinese energetics medicine today. And I'm going to give you some tips that you can use yourself to empower you, whether it's a physical problem you're experiencing, some emotional issues, or even some spiritual or psychic stuff that you guys are experiencing at this time. Now that we're on a lockdown and a lot of the kids are at home, and perhaps there's some issues with finances because you're not able to work, right? So anything that is happening that it seems like it's out of your control, we're going to delete a lot of that weakness so that any situation that comes up, as we know, it keeps on changing every single day, you can handle that. So we're also going to unplug you from any panic and hysteria consciousness that you are experiencing from the whole collective so that you can stay safe in your own zone. And at the end, I'm going to invite everyone to a 6-day challenge for health and wellness and those who need help now to connect with me. All right, so let's get started because I'm excited. All right, so the difference between a pandemic and epidemic, it just means there's a global outbreak, right? And it's all over the world now. That's the reason why we're having the pandemic. And an epidemic just means it's a rise of the number of cases of a disease beyond what's normally expected. And a simple washing of hands, as we know, this is very, very practical, is what we need to do, and stay home when you're sick. So if you're not sure, we know that a lot of the test kits are coming up, and if you're feeling like you have it, it would be good to go see a practitioner, a doctor, and get tested. And whatever it is, remember this, we can reverse anything. So we make sure that you are in good hands and you're safe and you're healthy, and then we can start working with you no matter what stage you're in, okay? So this is what I see in the universal plane. I was meditating the other day and literally the whole world looks like it's under the influence of some virus, right? So when I look at everyone's energy, it almost looks like you know how an iceberg looks like, but then the pokey part is not sticking outward, but it's sticking towards the person. So what we're going to do is empower you to really get some spiritual tools under your belt so you can start working with what you have. Okay? So everyone, I'm going to have to ground everyone right now that's coming on the call. The first thing I'm going to ask you is sit still. And I can feel a lot of energies already happening here. So just be present I'm gonna have you really feel your feet and ground to the very center of the earth. So go ahead and think of your tailbone and extend a golden tube down all the way down to the very center of the earth. So take a deep breath in through your nose and out through your mouth. Take a deep breath in again through your nose. Just really feel your legs. If you have a hard time connecting to the earth, I want you to squat down, and as if your legs are spread apart and your hands are in a prayer position, that helps you ground and balance at your center really fast. So take a deep breath, keeping the tip of your tongue at the roof of your mouth, and then release like. Let's breathe again. Everyone, take a deep breath in through your nose and then release like. Deep breath in again through your nose and release. So move your feet forward and back. I just want you to feel the four corners of your feet. We're going to open your feet chakra so that everyone has the ability to release what no longer serves them really fast. So think about as if you have plexiglass tubes in your legs and it comes out on like an open camera lens at the very bottom of your big toe and second toes. And when we bring the light to your body, you'll be able to just move the energy down to the earth, okay? So let's connect ourselves to God or divine source. So think of a beam of golden light. Think about that moving upward towards the edge of the planet Earth, the galaxy, and the solar system, all the way where the angels live. And we're going to go past the angels where creation started. So as a group, I'm going to unplug you right now from the collective, deleting your mind. So this is an energy clearing work. So you're going to experience this sense of lightness when we're done. So I want you to just allow the golden light to come down from the heavens and bring that from the top of your head so that you can connect to your own physical intelligence and universal intelligence, and you're able to connect to God completely without your mind that's very noisy. So bring that light down into the center of your head, through your spinal cord, through your whole body, and all the way to the very center of the earth. We're going to form a golden bubble around you. It's about 18 inches around you, and you're going to state your full name 3 times. So I'm going to ask God, Supreme Being, whatever happens in today's workshop that we're doing today and clearing will be for the highest good of all the participants and even the whole world right now. We ask for divine clarity. We ask for divine ability to release this at a very fast speed so that we can strengthen and neutralize the whole world, and that the authorities will really be enlightened in the decisions they're making for this planet. And we're also going to ask for divine love, unconditional love, forgiveness, compassion, and light. We ask for divine abundance, divine joy, divine enlightenment, divine spiritual understanding, awareness, and discernment. Amen. Whew. Let's all take a deep breath. So think about bringing blue energy from the earth as if you're bringing water from the earth, and bring that all the way to your legs, to the top of your head, all the way in the very back of you. And then as the energy goes down, it's in front of you. Allow the bright red energy to come down and release everything else that no longer serves you. Panic, fear, anxiety, hysteria, Okay, stress, fear of death, a lot of fear of being infected. So let's clear all that out to 0 minus infinite potential and strengthen you to be neutral and be healthy to 100% infinity. So bring about a beautiful, like 300 golden sun, and allow yourself to just envelope yourself with this beautiful golden shower of light, repairing all of the boundaries that you have. If there's any holes or broken areas, any cracks, just allow yourself to feel that love from the divine. Good. So now I want you to breathe gold in and out of your nose. We're going to focus on your brain and spinal cord, and we're going to breathe. So the first thing I'm going to do is I want you, if you have any of the judgments, criticisms, any anger or frustration towards anyone, could be towards government, authorities, towards whoever spread the virus, other countries, let's stop blaming. Go ahead and take a deep breath and release all the blaming energy in your system. So my goal today is to really help you be clear in your head, be clear in your emotions, and be kind and gentle to yourself and others. Because as we elevate your frequency, everybody else around you will also start to change, right? So go ahead and keep on breathing, releasing all blaming energies, any judgments and criticisms, any fear of authority, any fear of confinement. Let's clear that out. And allow yourself to be kind and gentle to yourself and others. As you breathe in, let's clear any negative energies and strengthen you to protect your sensitivity if you are very sensitive to all these people's energies. And you're going to learn how to mature your fear to joy. So I'm also going to delete your weakness to being confined in tight places, right? Or perhaps for some of you that are reacting to the sabbatical, I want you to be neutral for this. And I'm going to strengthen you to complete unfinished projects and feel good about yourself, planning ahead for your business or your life by developing your vision board for 2020. And we're going to unplug you from any collective fear, panic, frenzy, and anxiety. So let's take a deep breath again. And I can sense a lot of peace now. Very good. Everybody's getting calm and confident about the situation. So remember, as you're releasing all this virus, right? It's a microscopic piece of genetic material, but it behaves pretty much like a parasite. So if you're healthy, because a parasite has to hold on to a host, right? It only survives by harming another species. So if you're kind to yourself, one way or the other, you're going to do a lot of self-care and you're going to do a lot of rest, right? So we already know if it's outside your body, you wash your hands, soap can kill the virus. But then if it's inside of you, then it can start to replicate and can cause any type of infection. Now, I'm going to strengthen you to be able to battle anything that comes your way. And remember, as you're breathing, even if you can feel the energy up and down your spine, that means you're able to move the energy through your body. That means your chakras, energy centers, your aura, your energetic boundaries, your meridians and channels. If they're not blocked, there is no disease. But it's the karma, any specific weakness and triggers that trigger you is the one that's causing the problem. So again, keep on breathing in and out. I'm going to strengthen you for the inhalation and the exhalation. And we're going to strengthen everyone's exit portals, meaning to say your feet, your hands, your genitals, your tailbone, your sacrum, your lymphatics, your liver, your kidney, your bladder. So all of those are your exit portals. So let's strengthen those so that you can actually move anything that comes your way. Good. So for those of you who are healers, this is the time to stand up and actually share your gifts with others, because the more you spread unconditional love and be strong and neutral for what's happening, the better you can serve yourself and your clients, okay? And the more you can help the world. Here, I want you to identify if you're having any of the low frequency vibrations, and I want you to intentionally release them. You have any shame, guilt, apathy, grief, fear, okay? Clear all that. Even desire, anger, pride. As we go up to courage and neutrality and the willingness and the acceptance of what is, we start to vibrate at a different frequency. And the goal is to get to love and higher. Love, joy, peace, and enlightenment. So let's take a deep breath and release everything else less than love. Just release that. Any jealousy, insecurity, unworthiness, anger, revenge, hatred, disappointment, doubt, worry, blame, discouragement, and sadness, delete. Take a deep breath. Any impatience, irritation, frustration, pessimism, and boredom. Let's clear those out. Whee! Very good. So it's interesting, as this pandemic swept the whole nation, the whole country, right? The whole world. You can feel a cleansing of the world. And individually, if we are able to cleanse our own selves and release anything heavy, anything false, we start to really be enlightened of what the truth is. And honestly, all of us have control of what's happening because you have control of yourself, right? So as everything else gets narrowed down, right, we still have control over our environment, whatever that is. So when you're breathing, you have control over your breath. When you are meditating, you're quiet, you're still. I always tell people to delete their mind, because when they are thinking, that's when things go haywire. So always turn off the switch. So you know how you have a light switch? I always tell people to just turn off their mind every day and connect themselves to the higher intelligence. That way your insight, your intuition is always working for you, and then you don't tend to panic. Okay, so I'm gonna mention certain things, and if that's making your chest tight, or it's giving you some anxiety attack or some panic, I want you to keep on breaking your karma sticks, your agreement to be a victim of that. So karma stick, if you think of a stick and you just break it in half, think of a samurai sword, or you're breaking it with your hands and you burn it on the ground with like a fire pit. That would be great. So if I say breathing and that gives you anxiety, break your agreement with that. If homeschooling, or even spending time with your kids or your husband or your wife or your whoever you're with, and that bothers you, you need to break your agreement with that. If now eating healthy bothers you, or not having anything to buy in the grocery bothers you, see what you have and then figure out a different way of handling that right now. And if you haven't really decluttered, that might be a good time for us to actually do this, because we finally have time to declutter, okay? So let's take a deep breath. And I know that that's like another to-do list, yep. But the gratitude there is that you finally have the time to do it. So break your agreement to your boredom or your frustration about why you can't do what you want to do. And let's strengthen you to what you can do with the time and the energy you have now. So for those of you that are having some worry, that is the emotion of your spleen and the stomach. So these are the organs associated with the earth element. So if you're thinking too much pensiveness, worrying, and insecurity, that can actually weaken your digestive system. Because when you're anxious, like you have the fear of the unknown, we find it hard to digest and accept a situation or a life event. So now your spleen, everybody touch their spleen, go to your left armpit and slide your hand down to about your 8th rib. Okay, so it's almost like the lowest rib on the left side. Go ahead and massage that clockwise and tell me if you are tender. If you are, that means there's a little bit of inflammation of your spleen, and you can actually massage it until the tenderness goes away. So that's one thing you can do to get your spleen working better, okay? I usually massage that for a good minute, or I massage it until the tenderness goes away, and that really helps activate that spleen point, so it'll become more efficient. Okay, so that's one thing you can do with your spleen. You notice the beginning of the class, I started grounding and connecting you to God. I suggest that grounding and centeredness exercise, that you do that every single morning, because even if you're having physical symptoms, when you are spiritually connected to the source, you'll notice that everything just falls into place. Like everything just works out well, because we know that this time it shall pass, and we're going to be able to figure out how to actually move through these crises in the future, because now you're more prepared because you've already had the experience. So I always go with this 5,000-year-old Chinese medicine because it does work. And during the times that when your doctor couldn't figure out how to help you, but you need something right away because you're panicking, this really helps you understand how your body works, okay? So if you're noticing that your limbs and your muscles are atrophying, that's an indication that your spleen energy is deficient. In other words, your immune system is going down. You can also see this by the color and tone of your lips. So when you have a reddish moist lips, those are indicative of a strong spleen function. But if it's pale and dry, that means it's time to pay attention to your immune system, okay? And if you are very moody, that's the associated emotion of the spleen and the pancreas. So normally the peak hours is about 9 to 11 o'clock in the morning. So the positive emotions that we're going to strengthen is basically trust, your honesty, your openness, acceptance, equanimity, balance, and impartiality, right? So when we get triggered by all these other negative emotions, you start to feel worried, you start to think too much, you're obsessive about certain things like toilet paper and other things in the grocery store, remorse, regret, obsession, and self-doubt, you're going to have to look at your midline and start to delete all those negative emotions. You can do it by breathing, you can do it by just simply deleting, or you can really start to, everybody's talking about cleansing, right? Cleansing diet, because you want to cleanse and modify the blood so that you are able to function better, okay? So these are some things that you can do. You have certainly control over what you eat, how you breathe, and what you're thinking, right? Therefore, you can do this. So just to let you know, for those of you who already are affected, maybe you have some symptoms, you know, congestion, some fever, the lung meridian is usually active between 3 to 5 in the morning. So that's why they suggest you to meditate during that time. And then remember, in the morning, we usually move our bowels because your large intestine is active at that time from 5 to 7 a.m. And then you get hungry, right? 7 to 9 a.m. we eat breakfast. So our spleen, if you want to fortify the spleen, it is good to do your breathing during 9 to 11 a.m. because that's really the good time to increase the immune system during that time. So all of this body clock based on Chinese medicine, when you look at it, it's everything supports each other, and then everything has a different meridian for certain hours. And so to have reference, to know this fact would really help assist you in making your body healthier. So when I'm having some anxiety, stress, panic, whatever it is, but I'm pretty calm pretty much because of when the 5 elements of your body are balanced, you will feel so much peace and serenity. So everybody touch your liver. I want you to touch your right rib cage and then touch your heart right in the middle of your chest. So I want you to take a deep breath and breathe green into your liver. And then exhale. So when your liver is working, you're very patient. You're not angry, you're not frustrated, okay? So I usually touch these body parts because I know that my liver supports my heart supports my spleen supports my lungs, and my lungs support my kidneys. So if you just look at how the doctors usually suggest, like, eat better, right? Because your gastrointestinal tract, of course, everything gets processed in the liver. Therefore, if you take care of what you eat, what you put in your mouth, your liver would actually be in a better state, which means your heart and circulation will be in a better state, and your spleen, your immune system, will be in a better state. Does that make sense? So one organ depends on another organ in the whole body. Therefore, if you are able to breathe through all of these different organs and you're focusing on the health and wellness of these organs, you're gonna feel so much different, okay? All right, so practical physical tools. So the number one thing I would suggest for your liver is the wood element, right? You want to create a structure now. So obviously in the past, you're working and now you're at home and you have a different set of job duties, right? So go ahead and write down what is the new structure you're gonna create to feel more calm and confident about this new life that you're living right now, since we're gonna be here for a few weeks, right? Now, heart, what do you love doing? So consider all the free time you have now and make sure you put yourself in there, especially women. We love to help everybody except us, right? So please make sure that you're on top of the list and you ask yourself, what do you love doing? And it doesn't matter if it only takes you 5 minutes, 15, 30 minutes to do something that you love every day. Now, spleen, you notice when people get sick, because spleen is earth element, it gives us stability. Like when you stand on earth, it's not going to collapse on you, right? Unless there's an earthquake. But I want you to ask yourself what makes you feel safe and stable. Because if you are disappointed about mankind and what's happening now, you need to release that and delete that negative emotion and reaction and sensation, because obviously the more you're going to get sick if you keep on getting irritated about people's responses. We cannot control them, but you can control how you are responding, okay? Now the lungs is about the metal element, so having a sort of a boundary or a plan, even a spending plan, that would help you have a better boundary, right? A better structure, so you feel like you're in control of something. And of course, your kidneys is water element. Whatever negative feelings you're feeling, the goal is to mature that feeling to joy. So even if you're busy, you're still busy, but you're able to perhaps do something for yourself, or you're finally able to have time with your husband, or maybe your time just for yourself, at least, that can help you bring yourself to joy. So you got to find what makes you feel really happy and joyful, even the little things. It could be just looking outside and looking at the sky, and you have your free time, or looking at a set of flowers, or just laughing, right? Because that will bring you to joy. So whatever it is, stay happy. That's really going to be helpful for all of us. Now, some of you may actually be feeling certain parts of your spine are not quite happy. If your immune system is compromised, I usually look at the suboccipital area, the very top of my neck area. So if that's tight, any kind of release in the cervical area would really start to build your immune system, okay? Now, if there's a problem with digestion because of all these things happening, your T8, 10, and 12 is like your mid-back area, you're gonna feel some tension there. Or T1, T5, T9. So if you're a chiropractor, or if you go to a chiropractor or a physical therapist, these areas are associated with your spleen, your pancreas, your stomach, like all these different areas. When there's something going on, whether it's physical or emotional, this tend to be tight. And so when you release that area, that would help you free up any pent-up emotion, like overly concerned, hopeless, lack of control over events, or worried or distrust. So you'll feel that like across your shoulder blade region or in your mid-back. And these are usually where people hold their tension. So again, when you release this, whether it's a myofascial release, or if it's a chiropractic adjustment or a joint adjustment or mobilization, that would really help. All right, so for those of you who are into supplements, vitamin C right now, I highly recommend, and zinc, alpha lipoic acid, chlorella tablets, and magnesium tablets for stress release. For those that are doing essential oils, like you're applying it to yourself, if you're feeling quite depressed, a lot of the wild orange, lemon, citrus bliss, any kind of citrus oils would help uplift your mood. And digestion is, again, a matter of not just food, but if the current events, and if you're psychically sensitive, it is actually beneficial that you get your gut working better in order for you to digest the information coming your way. So I have found Adaptive. It's like a blend of oil. I call it a Zen in a bottle for emotional well-being. And Balance. Balance, if you don't have Balance, I usually use like Serenity, anything to calm me down, like lavender. All those things are really good for you if you tend to be hyperactive and anxious. Okay. All right. So emotionally, I guess a lot of fear is coming up for most people. But remember, you just have to take action towards what you can control to give you enough space to decide what will bring you joy. So coming in today here is really great. You can journal with your left hand. That's one tip that I can give you to process your emotions, because your right brain, that's your emotional brain, supplies your left side of the body. I want you to talk to your inner child and see what she needs to feel safe and secure during these challenging times. And then when you're done processing your emotions, you're going to ask yourself, your adult self, what is your next step? What can you do to feel better? And when you know what that is, do it immediately. Like, don't wait, because a lot of us procrastinate, right? And it's very interesting because I feel for a lot of people, because I know in the past, as a business owner, when you're just starting and when somebody says you can't work anymore, technically, that's kind of tough for most people, right? And for those of you that are very empathic, you probably tend to empathize with that person, almost like you're picking up their energy, right? Almost like you make it your own, which makes it heavier for you. So remember this, you can help other people, but not by being codependent with them, not by taking on their problem, because once that becomes your problem, they have more things to give you, just to let you know. It's not just one. They're going to give you a few more to go, right? So I suggest you do this. And what I'm going to do now is take on some callers to see if anyone is already kind of sick or having some symptoms. Go ahead and unmute yourself so that I can help you. And we're going to do one to two areas at a time so that I can go around and help as much people as possible. And for those of you that need some support, like I said, you can always email me later. It's Vivian@feelbetterrehab.com so that I can see what I can do to help you further. Okay, so go ahead, and somebody unmuted themselves. Go ahead.
Okay, so for me this morning, I woke up and my throat was a little itchy, but I was also kind of sneezing.
Oh, okay.
And I was fine yesterday.
Uh-huh.
So, but today I'm feeling a little congested, and it feels like it's allergies, but you know, nowadays you just never know.
Who's this?
This is Angelica.
Oh, okay. So let me see. Can I take a look? So take a deep breath and let's see where that weakness is coming from. So is it, you said dry, itchy throat? Is that what you're getting?
Itchy throat, yeah. And my nose is starting to run.
Okay. All right. So it doesn't look like allergies, Angelica. So let's delete that weakness. So you're having some problem right now expressing yourself. So that's a weakness of not being able to really say what you want. Is there a particular incident that you were not allowed to speak up, or there was a situation? So let's delete that first, okay? That weakness in speaking up. So I'm glad you're speaking up right now. So let's take a deep breath and delete that. So breathe. Oh, and there's a fear of a future problem. So let's clear that fear of the future. So you have an anxiety of something that's about to occur. It's kind of like beyond your control because you can't control the person's response. Okay. All right, so let's see how's that feeling right now? Your fear of the future, like something is about to occur.
Not as bad right now when I'm talking to you and when we're doing this. It's much better.
Okay.
You know, but I did notice that my stomach started to kind of cramp.
Right. Okay. So let it move. Let the energy move. So release your fear of a possible, if it's a lawsuit or some kind of somebody asking you for money or your family money. So it's an additional anxiety and fear. That's what you're getting. So you're going to have to delete your karma with that. Okay.
Okay.
Cool. Okay. How's that right now? How are you feeling?
Much better, but it hasn't fully like gone away.
Okay. So now open your feet. And I want you to remember how I told you to blow up the picture of that possible accident, so to speak, that had happened in the past. So that's the one that's causing you a lot of this itchy thing.
Oh, okay.
So you got to blow up that same picture and break your agreements and karma sticks of them asking you for more money, basically. So, and I'm going to strengthen you and the other party to just have whatever it is that you need fairly to be able to settle that case, that it'll be done. All right.
Okay.
How are you now? Is that better?
Much better.
Yeah. So it's just the fear and the unevenness of that, because it puts you in a situation that you're a victim rather than really what's fair. So we strengthened you already for what's fair for both parties, so then you'll be okay. So it's not related to the coronavirus, just to let you know. Not at all.
Okay.
Okay, good, good. All right, who's next?
Hey, Vivian, it's
Hi.
Clara.
Hey, Clara.
It's so good to hear you.
Hey, nice to
I
see you.
jumped on at the last moment. We got lots of good news in our household,
Oh,
so I'll update you on that later.
okay.
We got really good news on Paul, like a
Nice,
miracle. So
nice.
yes. But my tummy is still slightly acting up, kind of similar to what I saw you for before. I
Mm,
noticed if I don't drink coffee, it's a lot better.
mhm.
But
Yeah.
I miss drinking coffee, but it just doesn't feel as good as it should.
Okay, so let's delete the acidity. It's your stomach is hyper acidic, basically. That's what's happening. It's almost like it has a hole in the middle. So your stomach is located on the left side of
Yes,
your
that's where
rib
it
cage,
hurts.
right?
Yeah.
So let's connect your stomach to your midline to 100% infinity. Take a deep breath and let's just delete any hyperacidity of your body, the whole body, and delete a lot of the inflammation. That's from overthinking. Okay, so for those of you that overthink, I want you to feel this in your system, because as I clear her, you'll notice you're also going to feel some energy releasing from your feet or from your back or wherever you have the tension. So let's delete Clara's hyperacidity and inflammation from overthinking, over worrying, ooh, a lot of over worrying, and lots of over stressing over the situation. Let's clear that out to 0 minus infinity. So I want you to really breathe out all of the hospitalizations and all the sickness that had happened in your household. Let's clear that out, right? So I'm going to clear your whole household for that. So that's going to be a history for all of you, for both of you, Paul and you. So let's release the dis-ease in the household to 0 minus infinity and strengthen the evenness of the people in your household so that there's unconditional love and good exchange of energy and information in the household and at work. A lot of work negativity as well that need to release from Paul. A little bit from you, not so much. Okay. You took on a lot of his problems to help him, to help
Yes.
save his life. That's what you did. So
Yes.
let's break your karma stick on that, because he's already healthy and it's done. You don't have to do that. So we do have the tendency as women to take on, like I said, people's problems, especially the one closest to us. So everyone delete your karma sticks with the people that you are basically shouldering their problem. You're shouldering their disease, you're shouldering their illness, you're shouldering their worry. Let's clear that from this whole community. Okay, because basically now you're shouldering the whole world. So everybody say this: I unplug from the collective consciousness.
I unplug from the collective consciousness.
I am worthy of self-love.
I am worthy of self-love.
I deserve this special time for myself.
I deserve this special time for myself.
Okay, let's all strengthen you for that to 100% infinity. I deserve my own space.
I deserve my own space.
There you go. Take a deep breath. Everybody breathe it out like, say, I return all these energies back to people's higher self. So higher selves.
I return all these energies to people's higher selves.
Okay, so always return it to their higher self, because they gave it to you because they can't handle it. That's the reason why they gave it to you. But you're a willing participant. So when you start to break agreements with them, what happens is they start to figure out a different way of solving their problem. Now, is it going to be like you? Of course not. It's a different way of solving people's problem. Everyone's different, and you don't have to control no control. I'm going to delete that, and we're going to make you guys neutral for control, because
Oh yeah, that's a big one for me.
when you try to control everything, then you can't control it. Then you give yourself something else. In your case, you give yourself coffee because you're like, it tastes good but it really hurts. Okay,
Yes.
So delete that control no control, expectation no expectation, neutral. Take a deep breath. Yeah. Now that is much better. How's your tummy?
It's better. I feel more relaxed all over. I still feel a little bit in my lower
Mhm.
tummy area, but
Oh,
but
it's just coming down. So what's
yeah.
happening is, you know how when we bring golden sunshine down, so let's just allow that to bring it all the way down to the very center of the earth. So right now, because we cleared your house, we cleared Paul, we cleared you, what's happening is the disease starting to leave. So it's going to come out in the back.
Okay.
That's why you're feeling it kind of down there and a little bit on your low back. You feel that?
Yes.
So you got to delete the excessive responsibility of taking on everybody's stuff. That's really a new pattern for you that you need to learn, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's a new, see, when we shift the energy, you guys get it at an energetic level. And then when you start to help someone again and it doesn't feel right to you, it's because we already shifted the energy. That's the reason for that. It's like, I used to do this before, but I don't like doing it now, like,
Mm-hmm.
and you have to be okay with that. You have to honor your new self because something has shifted. Like this clearing not just affected you, but everyone around you. So remember this is like huge scrubbing of energy, right? Because we're forced to stay in one location, which is actually great because when you are quiet, you can connect with God very easily. And you have the insight. So I'm going to strengthen you for the insight to know what's really good for you instead of just what's good for everybody else. Okay.
Good.
How are you feeling?
Better. I
Cool.
feel like I feel more in my body. I
Good.
can feel more, and I still feel a little bit in the bottom here, but
Mhm.
I'm going to focus on keep clearing it.
Cool. Awesome. Thank you. All right. Who's next?
Hi, Vivian. It's Lauren. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, help.
What do you need? What's
Okay,
going on? So
yeah, I'm part of my work's response emergency response team, and the last I don't know 2 weeks have just been 14, 15-hour days, just triaging.
Yes. Okay, we got to give Lauren a lot of love and energy to help her really get through this. So we thank you, Lauren, for being part of that. So I really appreciate your service to your teammates and to the whole world. So what's going on with your body then?
Just kind of heavy all over, and I'm trying to just keep my immune system up.
Okay.
I'm not sad. I feel positive, but
Mhm.
it's just the long hours and just the constant barrage is
So let's delete
tough.
that weakness to the long hours. Okay, so you don't have a problem with your immune system. I want to tell you that your immune system is strong. Okay, which is a good news, right? No problem physically there. So I want you to take a deep breath and we're going to delete your weakness to the long hours and the lack of sleep. That's part of that. Take a deep breath and delete. Let's release all that. And the weakness is the excessive responsibility, the thought of having the excessive responsibility. You feel like the whole world depends on you. So you're not the only one, right? Somebody
And
else.
you know what?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not the only one, and the team is great.
Yep.
The other thing is coupled with trying to move personally.
Yeah, exactly. So let's delete that excessive responsibility because you always want to do 100% of your job well. That's just you, which is great. That's a strong point about you, right? But now you need to, right now, you're here with me. So let's delete your weakness to the long hours and excessive responsibility to, like, you're thinking about saving the world. So let's delete that weakness on saving the world and strengthen you to be neutral too, that you are fully supported and you are loved and everything will pass, right? And you will be supported in every step of the way. And there will be people aside from you that would also help others when they need that resource. So let's clear that out from your back. It's like your third chakra is very congested from the back. Okay, so I'm seeing also the other weaknesses in the past. You have been part of a triage in a pandemic in your past life, and that is weighing you down. Okay, so let's delete that history and memory of all of that to 0 minus infinite potential and also your past life. There's like a lot of death tolls, and that's the weakness, is you witnessed so much death in the past that you didn't want that to happen again. So it's the anticipation of the death that's about to come, which is not really happening for you. It's more the past that's causing the weakness. So let's clear that out. There you go. How's that feeling? Is that better? Is that feeling lighter? I'm going to neutralize you to that memory and history from eons ago, decades ago. Yeah, decades ago. Let's move that out about 100,000 miles away from you. Ooh-wee. Okay, so a lot of people's back, you notice as I'm clearing her, your low back and your mid back starting to release. Do you guys feel that? So you can see how we're also interconnected in this way. So when one person changes and you have a commonality of some sort, everybody else changes. So I really thank you for being part of this. And I am really wishing everyone to be strong for these changes that are happening, the challenges that are happening, and that you can also be a good support for yourself, your family, and the world around you. All right, how are you feeling there, girl?
Better.
Yeah, your head is starting to clear up. You feel that? Your sinuses, your back. Actually, for you, so normally I'll tell you to lie down. I would tell you to do a child's pose and then just unplug from everything in the past. If you can. I don't know if you're at work right now, but that would really help. Okay, is that better?
Yes, thank you.
There's still a little bit of weakness in sleeping. So the problem is when you hit the bed, you don't sleep very fast. So let's delete the weakness in difficulty falling asleep. And let's strengthen you to be neutral to being able to sleep immediately when you hit the bed and the pillow. Just like me. Cool. Okay, now that's better. How are you feeling? Is that better? Your back, your head?
I feel better.
All right.
I feel better. I'm just going to keep breathing. Thank you so much.
Yes, yes, yes. Thank you. All right. Anybody else that want to experience what we're doing?
Hi, Vivian.
Oh.
Okay. Hi.
I am brand new to you. I'm loving this. Thank you.
Oh,
so
you're
much.
loving this. What's your name? Is that Deanna? I
Deanna,
love your
yes.
name.
Thank you
Hi.
so much. Hi.
Okay, tell me.
So
what
I'm an
you-
intuitive and an empath and
Mhm.
all of that. And so I've been experiencing a couple different things, and it's more of like energy frequency,
Okay.
like a shakiness within my body.
Okay.
And the other day, like my arm went numb and my face went numb. And I'm like, what's that?
Mhm.
So
Okay.
there's like, so I've been clearing,
Yep.
right?
Mhm.
And doing everything that I'm trying to do, but there's something going on.
Yep. I can see.
Yeah. And it's like coming through my heart.
Yeah, yeah. There's a
And
entity or being inside of you that's kind of blocking you from really seeing what you need to be doing. So you have this fear of invisibility, that you'll be seen. Do you have I mean, if you're an empath and a healer, do you have a business or?
I shut it down. This is very interesting you said that. I shut it
Yeah.
down 6 months ago completely.
Why?
And so they're knocking on my door right now and saying, okay, stand up.
Yes, because this is the time that healers are needed, right? That's
Mhm.
the reason why we're here on this planet, to serve. So let's delete that weakness in you because
Okay.
of your fear of being seen. So a lot of childhood issues I'm seeing here. So I'm going to have
Mhm.
you take a deep breath, focus on your midline, and break your karma sticks with your fear of being seen and your invisibility cloak. So as a healer, and I've experienced this before, when we start to come out and we start to do something to be of service to the world, more challenges come up, right? It's like people question you, well, how come you charge like that? Or what kind of work do you do again? And you have to explain yourself. And we don't like explaining ourselves because we just know what we do. Okay, so I'm going to have you send the souls to the veil, because these are dead souls urging you to help their relatives. Just say, all souls, please go to the veil.
All souls, please go to the veil.
You'll see 20 golden steps, and there's 2 angels waiting for them to actually help them be schooled in, like, to be an angel, so that they can help others and not occupy you as an angel. So I'm going to have you close all of your doors so you accidentally opened. So your bubble, I want you to fortify that with 600 golden sun, like melting like gold.
Okay.
So do you have an intuitive grandma or grandpa in your family?
Yeah, there's several of them. We go
Okay.
back generations, but
So,
they never came out of the closet.
well,
Like,
yeah, that's right. So
mhm.
you're kind of becoming like one of them. And is that really how you want to leave this planet?
Mm-mm. Well, and I just had my family. They
Mhm.
did the chastising, and
Mm,
so
yeah.
it was like I was thrown out on a reef by myself.
Okay.
So it was time to like step out, not
Right.
listen to all that, and come back.
Yeah. But you have a lot of that fear because, to be kicked out from a tribe is kind of not fun, right?
Right.
Especially if your family hates you or doesn't like what you're doing. So take a deep breath and really ask the divine guidance to bring you a lot of love and protection as you do your work in the future. So part of you is looking for help because you helped and you needed a break. So it's okay that you did what you did, right, to close down your practice. But eventually, as you learn more tools, you do need to help others because people get sick when they don't serve. That's just the way that works.
Right. Right.
You kind of know that already, right?
Yeah.
So
I do. I was
yeah,
doing it for 15 years. And
right.
I
So
just kind
let's
of,
delete the weakness of lack of protection,
okay.
lack of tools, okay, and let's strengthen you to be neutral to learning more tools and learning to protect your sensitivity and your psychic gifts and owning your own power. Let's strengthen you for that to 100% infinite potential. Bring some gold from the earth through your feet upward to the top of your head. You're really, ooh, they're very resistant, but because you're allowing them to occupy you. That's just part of your contract with them. So I need you to, when I say break your karma sticks, like literally cut your sticks into several little pieces and burn it to the ground. Use a golden sword to do that. So you're saying, it's okay, then I'll just do nothing for now and hide. It doesn't feel good to you though, right?
Not at all. Well, you know what? You said it earlier. I just got tired, honestly, of just
Yeah,
telling people what I do. Like when you come to me, it's like you come to me and God didn't just give me one gift, gave me
yeah,
several,
right.
right? So that means it's diversified and it's, to explain it, I don't know how to do that.
You just have
So,
to ask a copywriter. So I'm going to send you a good copywriter that Keisha sent me along the way, because that'll
awesome.
help, use that for marketing and things like that. Like I said, the things I'm good at what I do, but the other things that I don't do, I just delegate that. So I'm going to
Nice.
strengthen you to be able to delegate the things that you don't do so that you can actually do your skill, your superpower. Okay.
Love it. Thank you.
Cool. Okay.
Thank
So
you.
tell me how you're feeling now with your numbness.
Well,
So
it's interesting.
yeah,
The internal electricity that was firing off is calm. It's not firing.
good. Okay. So yeah,
Yeah.
because there's a being, like I said, your grandma, grandpa are kind of in your system. So when you send them to the veil, the dead people, they just move on.
There was like 30 that went.
Yeah, it's a
I
lot,
saw
right?
them go right up into yeah.
Okay, so keep on bubbling every day, I would say, and always bring gold from the earth upward, because that'll help you occupy your own space and call your energies and soul back to you again.
It's
Now,
fractal. Okay.
yeah, because it's kind of sitting above in the ethers. It's like 50 feet above your right side, above your head. So bring it in. Need to like ground your blue soul again.
Nice. Because that's literally where I go, to the right.
I know, because you check out, because you're like, I don't know what to do with this, so I'm just going to go. So we do that, right? We have to stay in our body. Otherwise, other things and other beings occupy us. So just to let you know.
Wonderful. Wonderful.
Oh, thank you. All right, so let me see how everybody is. Is there anybody else who has a question on the coronavirus, on the pandemic? Anything else I can answer? It seemed like there's a question. That's why I opened it up.
Vivian,
hey,
it's Shifra.
Vivian.
I have a question.
Yes. Go ahead.
Me?
You
There were
can
two
go
of us.
first. Go ahead.
Well, I just have a quick question because Angela brought up a really good point,
Mhm.
and it was in my head too. Because I have sinus issues,
Mhm.
so I just want to make, because I feel fine and I know I'm clear.
Mhm.
I just want to be real clear
Uh-huh.
that the difference between the sinus issue and the coronavirus.
So your sinus issue though, Shifra, is, remember, sinus issues are the triggers that we have if we're irritated in any way. So yours is the irritation of authority. So everybody, let's delete your irritation towards the authorities.
Right.
Let's take a deep breath, because again, that's, remember the first part of our clearing, the judging, the blaming, the complaining. So let's delete that to 0 minus infinite potential and strengthen you to be neutral to the authorities with whatever they're deciding, right? Because they're deciding with whatever information they have. Our group here, we are getting to the root cause so that we can be strong and neutral to what's happening, and we can make our own clear decisions and path in what we need to take, right? That's the goal of this program.
I feel like the authority is the coronavirus. That was the authority.
So that's why, like I said, whatever is your truth, right? You connect to that by deleting your mind and connecting to your higher intelligence, and do what you got to do for yourself. And the rest
Well,
of
it's not
it,
just for me, it's
let it-
even for my family. You know, you nailed that. Like I was giving the coronavirus the authority over me and others.
So let's delete that in your midline, because we don't need that anymore, right?
Yes.
We are our own authority connected to source. Okay, let's strengthen you for that. Okay, how's your sinuses?
Well, they feel good. I can see clear, actually.
Okay, cool, awesome,
I can see
perfect.
clear. That was thank you for answering it, because that was just a little minor thing that's been on the tip of my brain. So thank you.
No worries. Yeah, I'm sure everybody benefited. So I think Steve was asking. Go ahead, Steve, you can unmute yourself.
Oh, hey, Vivian. You know, I've been having just a general malaise. Just wanted to see if you could see anything about that.
Okay, so that one is from your clients getting disappointment. I was thinking about you. So let's delete that, right? Again, return the energies of your clients back to their higher self with the stock market crashing. So everyone, let's delete the weakness to that. This is the best time to buy, by the way. Buy low, sell high, right? I heard that from a lot of financial experts. So let's strengthen ourselves to really being wise to what to buy during this time, okay? Let's strengthen everyone for that to 100% infinity. So return all, remember how you move the energies back further and return it to the client. So put them in a bubble and move them far away from you. Because yes, you have to answer to them because you're the financial advisor, but at the same time, they don't need to sit on your head. That's why you're tired.
That's a good point.
Because they're sitting on your head. They're telling you what to do and all their concerns. So you have to delete your own worries and concerns about the economy and the stock market because it's not within your control at this time, right? And you're strengthening yourself to be neutral to the highs and the lows of the market and your client's perception and misperception of the market.
Oh, I think that helps. And I think it was just really one client in particular.
Okay, there you go. Return all the energy to that person.
Yeah, that
And
helps.
break
Thank
your
you so
karma
much.
stick with them, because remember this, when we serve others, we don't owe anybody anything. This is all pure unconditional love that you're doing it. Obviously, you get paid for what you do, but at the same time, again, you can't control the market. So you have to delete your any contracts and agreements with that person that's making you responsible for their money. That's what that person is doing. It's like, it's your fault. Like, really? Not really.
That's true.
True, right? Okay, how you feeling? Is that better? Is your energy level better?
Yeah, I feel much better. Thank you so much.
Cool. Okay, awesome. So I'm gonna encourage everyone, if you're not part of my Wealthy Money Mindset group yet, I want to create a challenge starting March 20th to the 25th. So you're going to post daily for 6 days because I want you to really be in control of your energy, right? 30 minutes a day. If you can mindfully meditate, I don't care how you meditate, just post what your results are or your aha moments after you meditate. You can share a photo of your special spot where you do it. I usually do mine in nature walk, especially now my yoga studio that I attend, they decided to shut down. So now we do yoga via Zoom. So that's my new reality, right? And please post the before and after photo on the first day and the 6th day, like when you're done. So for the first 30 people who wanted to do this, you can email me and say, hey, I'm participating, or just go to the Wealthy Money Mindset Facebook group. And I'm going to give you guys a free procrastination to motivation MP3. And then we're going to pick a winner. I will give that winner a free gift. So anyone consistent in posting, and if we have more than one person doing it, then I'm going to do a raffle. Okay. And they're going to get a free 30-minute immune booster session with me, long distance, plus an immunity video clearing for self-care that they can use on their own. So for those of you who want to ask me further how I can help you, you can email me at vivian@feelbetterrehab.com or go to viviandeguzman.com/clarity call. For those that are interested in working with me, email me or give me a call. I think some of you have my cell phone. I am going to do a 6-session, that's what I was guided to do, a 6-session pandemic spiritual, emotional, and physical clearing, wherein I'll release the virus, any kind of weird virus you have that's in your system at the fascial plane. I'm going to teach you some energetic spinal adjustments on your own. These are all via Zoom, organ processing, lymphatic cleansing, and circulatory cleansing. So we're going to do this starting the 23rd of March, which is next week, at about 5 p.m. for 6 sessions. So this is a paid group session. So for those of you who are interested, please message me on Facebook or just email me or text me, and I'll be happy to connect with you. Okay? Any questions? Anybody have any questions at this time? Questions? Are we good? All right. So I hope that helped, and I need a feedback. If ever, if this helped you in any way, please email me, or you can Facebook message me, and I am excited to see what changes have occurred just because we did this pandemic clearing today. I hope that helped. So everybody, thank you so much.
Thank you, Vivian.
Thank you.
Love you all. Bye.
We love you too.
Bye, everyone.
Vivian.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye.
you.